Alright, hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Heroes of the Storm A to Z. As always, my name is Conman, and today we're going to check out Li-Ming, the wizard from Diablo 3. Full disclosure, I'm crap at Li-Ming. I don't really play her at all, and I'm going to be bad. This is going to be a horrible game that we're going to get into, so it should be fun. You'd think, considering when I played Diablo, I always played a wizard, that I would like her, but I'm just not, I don't know. Can't figure it out too much. Well, that being said, let's dive in. My crappiness with her aside. So she is, by all accounts, a glass cannon, maybe in the vein of Kael'thas, but a little bit different. So you see the level 20 here, she's got 2700 health, very low health, very easy to burst down if caught, unaware, out in the open. Positioning is going to be very, very important for her. Her auto attack damage is kind of what it is. If you're in auto attack range, that's probably not the best place for you in most circumstances, so you want to keep that in mind. She's going to rely, she's got some very powerful spells that can do a lot of damage if aimed correctly. They are a little tough to... they can be a little tough to get exactly where you need to be, so you're going to want to practice them. And she has the potential to kind of snowball a fight because of her trait. And here's her trait. Let's take a look at that. Getting a takedown will refresh the cooldown on all of her abilities. So this includes her heroics. So you, in theory, could cast all of your spells, including your heroic, pick off an opponent, and then do it all again. So if you can chain together, a bunch of kills on low damage heroes, she really has the ability to kind of just really go to town, pick off some low health targets, get refreshes, get resets, and snowball a fight in your team's favor. That being said, you need to have a team that can get, you need to get those kills. If you can't get those kills, then you don't get the resets, and then that trait is kind of minimized in terms of its value, so it could be pretty tough. Let's take a peek at her abilities, and we can see, how they kind of work. So first off, we have Q, which is magic missiles, as you'll see here. Fires 3 missiles toward an area, each dealing a chunk of damage. They do 50% damage to structures, actually. So, short cooldown on this, 20 mana. Here's how they work. You can aim them, and depending on where you have your cursor when you let these things go, they could virtually be straight. You could line them just up so they hit, all of them hit the target, so that's a solid chunk of damage right there. You can do crazy stuff like this, where they go in every which way. Being able to master, where, you want these things to end up is going to be the key for her. That's going to be the trick with the magic missiles. They're hard, they can be very difficult to hit a moving opponent or a running opponent. So, you got to be careful with that, excuse me. One of the things I'm not so good at, actually, but yeah. So as the opponent moves, you got to line up exactly where they need to go. They do have some travel time with it. Her next ability, this is a really interesting one, is the flashy one here. Arcane Orb, 8-second cooldown. Fires an orb that powers up as it travels. It starts at 251 damage, and at max it is a lot more. So if I go right here and just smack somebody in the face, all right, that's a pretty solid chunk. But if I can hit them in maximum range and do one of these, it does a lot of damage. And this is, it's like an AoE area, so this will hit anything. Let's go here. This will knock at least these two. Yeah, see, it did damage to those two, so you can hit multiple targets with it if it's just right. This one, again, is something that you need to be able to aim and get just right. So it has a very, very long travel time, comparatively. These are magic missiles, and then this is Arcane Orb. People can see it coming. If they're far away, it telegraphs it. They are able to move out of the way. So it's if you can land this spell at maximum distance, you can do a tremendous amount of damage to enemy heroes. Let's see if I can hit Arthas with this. There you go. Look at that. He's going to stand there and take this all because he's the AI and he's silly. But look at all that damage you're able to do just from Arcane Orb. This is going to work. On that, and you saw I got the reset there. Actually, I had cooldowns off, so maybe you didn't catch that, but I would have gotten a reset. This is going to work at structures. You can sit there and ping, healing fountain, keeps, forts, whatever you need to do. So that's going to be key with her magic missiles, with her Arcane Orb, excuse me. And then finally, she has teleport, which is just a short little range hop. You know, this isn't going to be your primary means of escape. You know, you're going to want to use this just to get away most often. You know, short cooldown on this, only 5 seconds. That would have been a reset, thanks. Short cooldown, 5 seconds. You can use this. You can use this to kind of get closer, although I think more often you're going to want to use this to dodge skill shots. You know, if you've got a Chromie nuke coming at you, you can teleport out of the way. If somebody gets the jump on you, maybe you can teleport and get a little bit of distance on them. Maybe throw an orb out and keep going. So there are a lot of ways to play with that. Let's take a quick peek at her ult. She's got 2 very good ults, and they're in very short cooldowns on this. Disintegrate is probably the one that you see more often. It is picked the vast majority of the time. Again, I'm not sure the pick rates. I didn't bother to look them up. But this one is easily going to be the one that gets selected most often. Looks something like this. It's just a beam. It roots you. Like you stand still. You can cancel the channel. You can move it around a little bit. You know, it kind of follows your mouse. But you know, it does a significant amount of damage in a short period. Anyone in the line, I mean, if I can go up here and do something like this, you see, anyone in that line is going to take the damage. And it's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. Hello. You know, you do have to aim it correctly. You know, other than the root, you know, it's pretty powerful because it can definitely, it's got a very long range and you can hit fleeing heroes with it. And it does a solid chunk of damage. 30-second cooldown on this, 80 mana. You know, this does reset with her trait if you do get a takedown. So you can, you know, get somebody low, pick them off with Disintegrate, which will refresh all of the cooldowns, and then you can start firing off again. So the other one, probably, you know, still a solid one, probably taken less often. 20-second cooldown is Wave of Force. It's going to look, you can cast this, you see it's got the targeting area of what it's going to hit. You can cast it anywhere in the circle.
Stay away.
It's going to knock people away and do a chunk of damage. You can use it, you can like self-cast this, so if anyone's in you, it'll knock them, you know, anyone's like in your safety radius, if you will. It's going to knock them away. You can use this to interrupt abilities. You know, if ETC, for example, has got Mosh Pit going on your team, you can, you know, block him with that. I think you can interrupt Jug of 1,000 Cups. I think you can interrupt a lot of channeled abilities with this. This is something that you can use and get in people's face. It is an AoE. It's going to hit them all for a solid, you know, solid amount, 469 at level 22. So not eye-watering damage compared to Disintegrate, but you get the utility of the displacement. So you kind of got to pick accordingly. I think most often Disintegrate is usually what people pick with. But, you know, if you need that interrupt for a mosh pit or something, then yeah, let's go Wave of Force. So let's take a peek at her abilities. She's got some of her talents. She's got some solid talents. Level 1, you can go Power Hungry, which regen globes, which will give you a little icon right here, which shows what you got. Regen globes give you 100% more mana and grant 10% spell power for 20 seconds, so that's a pretty nice chunk of time. I mean, the mana is important. You know, your abilities are relatively short cooldowns, so they're not super mana intensive, but you do have the potential to be out of mana just because you're going to be casting them so often. So having that extra mana regen, I think, you know, could be pretty helpful. Also, the spell power is nothing to sneeze at as well. Alternatively, Ether Walker, you know, if Li-Ming hasn't taken damage in the last 5 seconds, teleport costs no mana and its cooldown is decreased by 2 seconds. So this can be useful, you know, just by getting to and from places. If you don't have time to mount up, you know, if you haven't taken damage, and you need to, you know, dodge something, you can do something like this. Level 4. We have Dominance. Takedowns restore 20% of Li-Ming's maximum health. So if you're in a team fight and you get a kill, you basically get a free heal. And you don't have a whole lot of health to begin with, so this is pretty solid. I almost always recommend this. You know, not that I play her all that often, but this is the way I would go. I'm not a fan. I mean, you could go straight up Arcane Orb build. I don't like Arcane Orb build. I think it relies too much on being able to hit these maximum range orbs. And it's just too easy to dodge, and yeah, you know, if you miss it, then you're like out of luck for 8 seconds. So I think Dominance is overall going to be, you're going to get better value out of that. Level 7, there are a couple you can do. I like Calamity. You deal teleport damage. Like if you teleport in on a hero, I'll show you what it looks like. I'll just take here. So now your teleport's going to look like this, but anybody in that area, they're going to take damage. So if you have, you know, let's say somebody jumps in on you, you can actually jump in on somebody and hit them, you know, hit them with some spells right away. If they jump in on you, you can teleport a little ways away and get in some extra damage. So it's you know, short cooldown on that. It only works on heroes. This is only going to work on heroes. You're not going to be able, you know, when Li-Ming was first released, I think you can clear waves with this ability, and they changed it, so they actually killed her wave clear with Calamity. So this only will work on heroes. You can't clear merc camps anymore with this, only heroes. But it's a solid chunk of damage if you wanted to do that. Alternatively, I mean, you could go Zay's Vengeance. Arcane Orb does 25% more damage based on distance, and its cooldown is reduced, so you can cast this more often. And, you know, if you can hit those max range ones, you're going to get more damage. I think Calamity might be easier to get some value out of, but, you know, this is certainly an option. At 13, really, I think there's two. One is Glass Cannon. It increases her spell power by 15% and decreases her maximum health by 15%. She doesn't have a whole lot of health to begin with. Let's take a look at what that will look like.
Choose a talent.
I mean, this is going to chunk her down from like 2,800 to 2,500 just about. I mean, it's a chunk. It's a chunk of damage. I mean, Li-Ming really is, like, that's what I'm saying, maximum Glass Cannon. She potentially does a lot of damage, but she's very, very squishy. If she gets focused, she can get bursted down really, really easily. And yeah. Alternatively, instead of Glass Cannon, Illusionist is a solid choice. If she loses 20% more of her health at once, teleport's cooldown instantly refreshed. This has a 4-second cooldown, so I mean it still will be up pretty often. Also, it passively increases teleport's range by 50%, and that's pretty big. That actually gives this makes this. Let's go take this. We'll go through here. This makes teleport kind of like a viable escape tool because it really, you know, is a distance closer. Both, you know, being aggressive and being defensive. So that one's a solid choice as well. At 16. You know, you can increase the range of Arcane Orb with Arcane Orbit. I like Diamond Skin, where if you teleport, especially if you're going to dive in teleport offensively with Calamity, this will give you a shield of 20% of your maximum health for 4 seconds. You know, alternatively, you can go Mirror Ball here, where you'll get 2 extra magic missiles, I mean, which could potentially be a crap ton of damage. I mean, that's right there. Look at that. That was one shot. That was 1,500 damage. 1,400 damage, excuse me. You just have to be able to hit them all. You know, it increases the mana by 5. I think that's kind of inconsequential. It's just a matter of being able to hit your target with these, but that's just extra chances to do so. At level 20, there are really 2 ways to go. If you take Disintegrate, the slow is pretty nice, 60% slow for anybody caught in the beam, which makes it more difficult for them to get out of the beam, which hopefully can translate into some kills and resets for you. Alternatively, a solid choice as well as Talrash's Elements. So what this does is here, now you see I get some UI information going on. I actually will get bonus damage based on the order I use my spells. As long as I use them all, let's see, I start off with the Heroic here, okay? Now, spell power increased, alright, I'm going to use this, spell power increased. I'm going to use one of these, alright, I'm going to use one of these. So now, the next ability I use is going to reset this, but the next ability I cast is now going to be 20% more powerful. And so, you know, as long as you can channel, you know, as long as you can chain your abilities when you need to, if you break the chain by casting the same ability twice in a row, it will break it. Or even if you cast the same ability, you know, within the chain, so now if I go back to Magic Missiles, it'll break. This is just extra damage. So it's if you can land this, you can, you know, kind of cycle your abilities on a regular basis. Talrash's Elements is definitely going to be a net DPS increase for you. So what do you have to watch out for with Li-Ming? Anybody who can sneak up on you. Genji could be trouble, especially if they get you with your cooldowns down. Any of the stealthies, you know, Novas, the Valeras, the Zeratools are all going to make your day a nightmare. Somebody like Tracer is going to give you a hell of a hard time because she's super mobile. Illidan, because he's super mobile and he's able to dive in on you and avoid some of your abilities. Anybody like that is going to be trouble. You're definitely going to want to keep your distance from a lot of people. So you got to be careful about that. So anybody that can really just get up in your face and either, you know, crowd control you so you can't get away or just cause a lot of damage in a short time is going to be trouble. And Nubrick is just a nightmare, partly because he's got, you know, he's got the spell armor to negate the damage of your spells, and then he can dive in and stun you, and he can make your day a living nightmare. She's going to combo very well with team members who can CC and know to keep them in range of her orbs when she needs to. Team members who are going to be able to peel for her. You know, if somebody tries to dive in because she's going to be a very high priority kind of squishy target, you know, she can. You need somebody who can peel and keep her safe. A decent healer will be nice. So let's see how we do with this. We're going to see how this goes. This is probably going to be a terrible game. I'm not a very good Li-Ming player. I tend to avoid her. I think I've only played her like 2 or 3 times in a competitive, you know, like a quick match environment. Usually I just play AI, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll get lucky. So we do have a healer. Okay, I'm okay with this for a quick match comp. This should be interesting. It's not the worst quick match comp I've ever had. We're on Hanamura. All right, so they have. So we're gonna be so Butcher's trouble. If he gets the stun on me, I'm pretty much toast. Vala is bad if she gets in range. I do have range on her in my spells, but if she gets close, that'll be troublesome. Murky can just be annoying as hell because again, you can kill him easily if he gets hit. Although he can bubble at the last minute to save himself and blow your cooldowns. You've got to be careful with that. Lucio's going to be a little bit difficult to hit just because of the movement speed. So it could be this could be trouble. But we have so we've got our healers are the same. I think we've got more damage overall, and Medivh can definitely protect, which can be pretty helpful. The portals will be great for me if he places them well. I can kind of dive in, you know, port in, use some spells, and port the heck out. You know, they do have some secondary healing here with Tarande. So I mean, they've got lots and lots of damage. This could be good. I mean, Butcher has got some wave clear for them. He can tear through some minions pretty easily. I'm gonna start off here with Power Hungry. And go with that. I'm gonna go top. Alright, so I'm gonna report that guy already. Maybe it's somebody that he knows. I don't know. I'll let it go. I generally don't have a whole lot of patience for bullshit. Flaming and talking trash. Like, there's just too much of that nonsense in this game. Also, look at the way she sits on this mount. It's hysterical.
3, 2, 1. To victory.
I'll give him a pass if he keeps going, though. I will do it. I just don't have time for it.
My spells are ready.
All right, so here we go. So they don't have any stealthers though, so that's good. I can be.
Why not?
See, I just missed that. I'm way too close. Yep.
Your grave awaits.
Oh, we got ourselves a Murky in there.
All right then.
Oh, he ate that. That's for sure. He dived right into that, so that worked out. Medivh going in hard. Alarak going in hard. All right. This is good. I like this as a good start to the game. We're giving them bottom lane, but we're pushing as a 5-man on top. If we can get this keep, as I say that, 2 people bail out and go bottom. Well, that's fine. I'm fine with it. I'm not complaining. We're also pushing pretty hard. We're almost.
Why not?
Boom, there's some damage. Starting off well. So he didn't take much. I took a Bala shot to the face, and that's already.
If this were easy, everyone would do it.
There you go. Just get the damage in. I would like to get the globe, but I'm gonna have to get too close for that, so that's fine.
Payload deployment.
All right, let's see what happens when the this is the moment of truth. This is what happens when the payloads come out. And they see, whoops, especially in the early game, mana can be troublesome just because you'll be casting your spells often, and I didn't grab that globe. They got it without me. That's too bad. I'm gonna tap the well just for the mana.
If this were easy, everyone would do it. You dare!
Payloads deployed. Escort your payload to its destination.
Alright, so our team on the bottom is going to go for the payload. We seem to be pushing here for now. We got a kill on their Murky. I'm going to go dominance. Here comes Alarak, alright.
Where to?
Oh, I'm so glad you walked into that. Thank you. Here's our payload here, so now we get to push a little bit because we got our whole squad. I'm going to teleport out. Now I'm taking some damage. Oof, just missed that. That was unfortunate.
I'm healed.
Enemy payload firing. Payload firing upon enemy core.
Now you notice I'm actually staying in the middle here of this lane, but she's very suited for like flanking people and getting the side of them where they don't expect the spells to be coming from. There is a chunk of damage. I think some of that was Alarak.
I'm healed.
We haven't gotten that wall yet. Let's get this. I like this though. Lots of push. So Murky's got...
Payload deployment beginning for both teams.
I do gotta worry about the mana. Can we grab that? Thank you.
If this were easy, everyone would do it.
Nice. Now there's a reset. I'm just gonna cast this right again. Get some damage off.
I'm so good. I astound myself.
Payloads deployed. Escort your payload.
I have no manas, so I'm going to tap the well again. This has been, so far, it's been solid. I'm okay with this. Looks like our whole team is gone to bottom. I'm fine. I'm going to hang out here. I'm going to get some mana. I'm going to wait until this payload comes through, and I'm going to drop some nukes and kind of distract them and just kill some time. I would have loved to keep pushing that keep down, but that's fine. That's fine. I will do Calamity. Yep, there's a damage. You guys can take that. So far I've kept my distance, but just in case anybody gets close, we'll do some Calamity. We'll get some damage with that. There you go. That was fantastic, Kerrigan. Pull them right into the orb.
You're almost not worth it.
Really want to get that down. I don't think we're going to get the kill of the keep here. Watching the mini-map, they're all... Now here's a port, just a little defensive cooldown.
Here we go.
I don't see anyone coming up from the bottom because they're all contesting on the other side, so...
You dare. All right then.
Drop that orb into the minions, unfortunately. Would have got some damage with it, though.
Myself. Here we go.
Alright, we're pushing pretty well. So it looks like... Oh, that was the bad orb.
All right then.
Payload firing upon enemy.
Okay, so now we've got our payload going. Now I want to bail out just a little bit because I imagine that they're going to be heading our way soon.
I think you'll regret this.
The enemy's payload will be redeployed shortly. Your payload will be redeployed shortly.
We're gonna get the kill. There's a reset. Gonna get stunned. Gotta watch out for that.
The enemy's payload has been redeployed.
Healed. How does this feel?
Your payload has been redeployed.
I'll take that. Thank you.
Should I even be here? Didn't see this coming, did you?
Got her. Alright, alright.
Health returns. Should I even be here?
So I'm doing well. Team is doing well. I like what they're doing. They're going back for the payload again. I really... Oops, I'm gonna back off. You can take that. I'm going to tap the well. I would have liked to just keep pushing the fort, but I say that every game, and it never happens. You know, we're going to get this payload. I'm going to go Disintegrate. I'm not worried. They don't have anything channeled that I'm too concerned about. There's the reset. There's a reset.
If this were easy, everyone would do it. Just warm
Like,
it up.
we should have just pushed. Oy.
Killing spree.
I think you'll regret this.
Payload firing upon
Like,
enemy
we should have just pushed the fort and then gone back to the
enemy
payload.
payload firing.
But that's what happens occasionally.
Where to? You dare.
Fort.
There we go. Okay, they're gonna get, so they're working on ours on the bottom. Wanted to get that out of the way.
Sometimes I really miss Caldeum.
I think Kerrigan is gonna go for this. Let's see if we can give her a hand.
You dare.
There we go. Pick that up. Yep, there you go. Fantastic. Okay.
I don't know why I trouble myself. My spells are ready.
Couple of kills toward the bottom. I'm gonna bail out. Alarak is happy.
Your payload will be redeployed shortly.
Dare. All right then.
I don't know why that was where she put. I missed that. I don't know why that was where she put the turret, but okay.
Your grave awaits.
We're good. Let's get this in. We're gonna get some experience here.
Fine.
You can take some damage. Now the turret's gonna go. Alright. Do have to be careful about the butcher.
Now three.
Need more mana.
Seems I've chosen my allies wisely.
I have none of the manas. That's a.
Why not?
So I misplayed that a little bit. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go Glass Cannon. And I'm gonna go Glass Cannon, and there goes Murky. I'm gonna go Glass Cannon because we've just been rolling.
Revel in it.
So if we can continue the way we're going, then we're gonna do really well.
Mayhem.
So I'm just gonna keep it up. Yeah,
Why not?
I'm gonna watch out again. Should have just pushed the damn thing in. But what do I know?
Your enemy's payload will be redeployed shortly.
Oh, you're in trouble. Nope, I missed it. Missed it.
All right then.
Now three.
You're almost not worth
Four.
I have no mana.
5 heroes.
There we go.
Untouchable.
The enemy's payload has been redeployed.
I'm out. Peace.
Payload firing upon enemy.
Yeah,
Your payload will be redeployed.
Alarak lost his sadism. That's unfortunate.
Enemy's payload will be redeployed shortly.
All right, what I would love to do here, we got a payload out. I would love to push the bottom.
all right then.
I would love to push the bottom and get the keep, and then just push the last payload in. That would make me a happy Ming. I gotta bail out.
Your payload has been redeployed.
Whoop.
The enemy's payload.
Ate that. That was unfortunate. That was my fault. Overextended there. I was by myself. I had absolutely zero business in being out in that part of the enemy team by myself. Zero business whatsoever. I should note, so all those resets, like Murky, all those Murky kills definitely count as a reset. Any of the Vikings would count as a reset. Misha would count as a reset, although Misha can be a pain in the ass to kill. So in this stage, Murky is actually a very good person to have on the enemy team, because if he gets killed, I get a reset.
I should try to be more careful. Or not.
I'm actually doing way better than I would have expected to, so I'm okay with this. I'm going to head back here. I would really, really love to push that in.
You dare.
I'm on my way, I'm a-coming.
Choose a talent.
Here we go.
Can we get this? That would make me a happy guy.
Your grave awaits.
I'm just gonna burn this to get it down. There we go. Okay. Now we're gonna come right up here. Although I think they've got it well in hand anyway.
Here we go.
That's game.
Enemy payload firing. Payload firing upon enemy core.
Your defenses are nothing.
Alright, well done. That was a pretty solid game. Yeah, that was fantastic. Alright,
Victory.
so let's take a look at that. I don't know who the MVP is. We'll take it. Good shot. Well done, sir. Well done. I died once. That was my fault. Gives him some points of the points. All the structure damage. Oh, man. Well, that worked out pretty well. Let's take a look at the stats and the abilities, and we'll talk about it. This will be a quick one. So after the last couple that we had that were super long, this is a welcome refresh. That's for sure. Yep. Okay. So stats, yeah, pretty solid. I mean, that's a lot of siege damage. I really was focusing on the walls and whatnot. Had the range to do so. A lot of minion kills as well. Hero damage was about even. I mean, I probably could have, done better at the end. I died that one time, which was my own fault because I was the silly. It worked out pretty nicely though for us. We got a couple. You saw we got a couple of kills in there that I think we team wiped them where we just kind of got all the resets, and that helped out pretty well pretty much as well. Let's take a peek at the town. Me personally, I think this was okay. I could have aimed some things a little bit better. You can kind of see what happens when you don't land your spells. You're kind of just like, well, that's it for the next few seconds. I need to stay away. We were doing really well, so I had the luxury of getting to be very aggressive, which worked out. There was one point where I went to go spam disintegrate and I missed and I think I hit teleport instead. So that was just a mechanical failure. And then the one death I had was 100% my own fault, no one to blame but myself. I was really just getting overzealous, and I was in an absolute terrible position, and Butcher got the drop on me. And that's what you have to watch. That was prime pickings for Butcher. He was licking his chops there because I had no one around to save me. I had absolutely nobody around to save me, and then I couldn't get away. I maybe should have waited to teleport until after he got the stun off, but that's my bad. I probably would have been dead anyway. So it's as it is. One of those things that you got to learn. Li-Ming is not necessarily one you want to be super aggressive with, because that's the kind of thing that can happen. Fortunately, Butcher died a whole bunch. Murky only died looks like 3 deaths, so I guess that's what, 6 kills. I don't know how many kills that translates into, because I think they're all like a quarter for Murky. I'm not sure. But each one of those Murky kills, that counts as a reset if I'm near the area, so that can be pretty great. That kind of feeds into Li-Ming's playstyle. Let's take a look at the talents. Level 1, Power Hungry. Regeneration Globes restore 100% more mana. I definitely like that. And they grant 10% spell power. Level 4, Dominance Takedowns restore 20% of my maximum health. I mean, look at that one team fight where we just got cleared the team fight out, and I came out of that and completely full health. So it was pretty nice. Level 7, Calamity. Teleport does a bunch of damage to enemy heroes near the destination. I didn't really use this too much. The enemy team was kind of just so far away that I didn't get a chance to use this offensively. I think I tried it once or twice and got some damage, but that's fine. I would have picked it again. I'm okay with it. Disintegrate. This was more or less a no-brainer. Wave of Force. I didn't really feel the need to use Wave of Force. They didn't have any heroics that I was worried about having to break. You know, there were no mosh pits here or something like that I was worried about. So Disintegrate was the way to go. 13 was Glass Cannon. Increases the spell power by 15%, but decreases her maximum health by 15%. At this stage in the game, I was very, very confident. We were doing very, very well. Again, the only death was my fault. And this was even the death was even after that. So really, it's just let's just pile on. At that point, just pile on. If they're not going to punish me, then I'm going to punish them by just having more damage. So yeah, that's the way to fly with that. 16 was Mirror Ball. Magic missiles fired additional 2 missiles. Not worried about the mana cost. By the time you get to 16, I'm not too worried about the mana cost. So yeah, let's do that. Had we gotten to 20, most likely I would have gone Tal Rasha's. Well, I forgot what it's called. Tal Rasha's Elements. There we go. I had to look it up. Tal Rasha's Elements. Most likely I would have gone that, and just to be able to spam the abilities. You know, I may have gone the upgrade to Disintegrate just for the slow. But yeah, that's that in a nutshell. That was a pretty solid game. I think the team played it pretty well. You know, we pushed in the carts. There were 1 or 2 situations where I think we could have just held off on the carts and knocked down the fort first, but that's fine. We were doing pretty well, as you see. Only 5 deaths for us. Yeah. So that's Li-Ming. That was way, way, way better than I would have possibly expected it to. So let me know what you think. You know the drill. Do the like, subscribe, whatever. You know, right about now you may be seeing the video on how I think you should be playing Hanamura. Probably like right here in the lower right corner. Take a look at that if you haven't already. Let me know what you think. And once again, my name is Conman. Thank you for watching, and we will talk soon.